Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you?
This is Andy, the consoling. I'm just not the consoling friend. I'm almost like the Mother Teresa of neighbors. Nobody in a certain sense.
If Mother Teresa was smothering.
It's been 20 minutes since I last checked with you. Could you please sign with my digital assistant that I was here for you? Because I'm sending out. What would I be sending out? An advertisement to funeral homes? I don't know where I was going with that. But I said to myself, boy, you're going to be on time today, Andy. And you're also, when you answer the phone, you're not going to do any shenanigans. And it's like, why can't I do this normally?
Just go straight to the self-praise. Just don't fuck around.
You know, Josh, in this difficult time, I want to say I really stepped up.
You did, Andy. Yes, you did.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. This bit is bad. All right. So how is everything going?
Every little bit of goodwill you engendered doing that has now dissipated because of this display.
Oh, I know. The flowers were nice. That was Susan's idea completely.
Yes, they were lovely.
The flowers.
They're lovely. They made my wife very happy.
Because if you left us last, which is all these things are true. I admit things on the podcast that are true. So it's true that maybe I'll send Josh $200. Here's my last idea as a joke. $100 DoorDash certificate delivered by DoorDash. So you would know it cost me an extra $15.
All right. What do you tip on a gift certificate? It's hard to know.
I still can't get the thing. Oh, I told Susan the whole story. Everyone's. Have I talked to you since? Did we talk on the show about? Yes, about the doggies and what you did at home, and it just I've been relating that to. Oh God, just someone hit me in the head with a shoe. But anyway, how's everything going in terms of my little Allison and Lucky and the youngster?
Everything is okay. We're sad, but we have 2 others who are filling some of the space. And it's just you get sad throughout the day when there's little triggers of how it's different,
Yeah.
But it's not the same as a person dying. It's really not, because he lived a whole dog life.
Yeah, that's right.
You know
right.
what I mean? And he has no estate to go through. He has no. We don't have to clean out his apartment. But it's sad, we loved him and he was here for 13 years. So.
That's so funny, but there's something about doggies that is not true about you. There's nobody going to say afterwards, he had all the chances he just never took advantage of the chances.
Exactly.
What would be not success with a dog would be just an unhappy dog.
Well, a dog that died young, a dog that was, a dog that was constantly insecure or unhappy, and
Or Timothy, the Cocker Spaniel who died when he was like 1 year old from distemper.
That's a doggy tragedy.
That's a doggy tragedy, but I was too young to figure it out really. And then I would have been a doggy tragedy if my mother hadn't been so abusive. And that just made me forget the dog. No, but I remember the little dog, Timothy, thinking like I was in the hospital visiting him or something like that.
Yeah. It's very, it's sad, it's different though. It's certainly different than when Larry died, when he was our only dog and there was no dog energy in the house. It's a whole, we got Clyde literally 10 days after Larry died because we just needed to get the dog energy back.
And tell us the story of how you got Clyde, because I don't remember.
Well, we got Clyde at the Valley Pound, the LA County Animal Shelter. And he was a little puppy. He was a little brown and white puppy that was surrounded by full-size pit bulls And he was just fucking terrified being in the pound. He was just like this tiny little sad, scared thing. And it was much more of like, we got to get this guy out of here than it was, this is the actual dog. It was more like, it was a true rescue sort of feeling.
Yeah.
And then we brought him home, and within a day, first he had to he got neutered. So they sent him to get neutered. We picked him up a day later, brought him home, and he came home with kennel cough. So he developed pneumonia.
What is that?
It's a
real thing.
It's a respiratory illness that results in pneumonia. And so his first week with us, he went to the hospital, and he was in the hospital for about 5 days. Because we knew if we took him back, they'd kill him.
Right. I mean, we're nothing here.
They weren't going to spend the thousands of dollars on this dog that we did it right out of the bat, right out of the chute. And then, like we visited him in the hospital, and he was like, he just was like so in love with Allison from the jump. And remained that way throughout his life, that he was just like totally devoted to where is she?
Where is she?
Yes.
I need to live in her closet.
I want to be up against her, is what his
my goodness.
So he was a love bug, and he was a good guard dog, and I felt like he was going to protect Allison with his life. So
oh, that's cool. I would not protect you with my life. I'll tell you that right now.
Jesus,
I mean, friendship is friendship.
You'd send a protection gift certificate.
You know what I would? Oh, no. I send you a $200 gift certificate to the Spy Shop. The Spy Shop.
Right.
What a wonderful... Oh, so now the thing that I was going to ask is that... no, you filled in everything. And then... Tell me how Lucky came along. I know I should know this already, but I'm not digging back into the archives.
Lucky came along about a year and a half later. We had a Turkish couple that was our cleaning people who would come once a week or every other week or whatever it was. And they had fallen in love with Larry, our initial dog. And then they ended up getting a dog, Lucky. And they were like taking Lucky with her and like leaving her in the car.
Well, oh,
and
wow.
we were like, don't leave her in the car, bring her in. And then Clyde and Lucky started playing together.
Wow.
And
you stole the dog?
No, but I did feel like Allison was eyeing the dog. I did feel like there was something like Allison was like psychically trying to manipulate the situation. She was like psychically trying to manipulate the situation. And then a couple months later, or a month later, or whatever it was, they were like, we have to give back the dog.
Oh, wow.
And Allison was like, nope, you're not giving back the dog. And then
right over there.
And that was the birth of Lucky and Clyde.
Oh, my God. And many people would say the ballad of Lucky and Clyde, many would say.
Yes, it was quite a love story.
And Andy was in there.
More of a sibling story.
It's true.
They were much more sibling-like than lovers.
Oh my God. So much love in the universe. And it's hard to transition.
Last week's show was like Chekhov wrote last week's show. It was like sick dog in Act 1, dead dog Act 2. My wife got a phone that barks in Act 1, the phone barks in Act 2. It was perfect.
Wait. My wife got a phone that barks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But you mentioned it. You mentioned it in Act 1. You went, Susan got a barky on her phone. And then in the second act, goes,
how come I don't sound like a small toy? Do I?
No, you sound like a small child.
Oh, that's better.
Playing with a toy.
Oh, well, I don't even think... it's hard to get back into our usual fumfillery and our shenanigans and our jabs and jibes. It's a little bit hard to get back to that.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
Okay. What else is
I'm
in there?
getting off the topic, I really have to say.
How about Pedro? Do you think, I was wondering, are any of those 8x10s of Bedrosian that we're seeing, and they're not from the catering days. That still looks a little too foreboding. You never complain. He never ever complained about Prigozhin. What do you call him? Prigozhin?
Prigozhin or something like that.
Prigozhin. You know, so many things are going through my mind. Also, Rob Schneider. What was Rob Schneider? He was not on The View, but he was on.
No, he was attached to JFK Jr.
Yes, and then Jimmy Dore says, I just interviewed, and this is a lie. As you know, this is a lie from our own friends. I just interviewed, Jimmy Dore goes, I just interviewed Rob Schneider. He's the warmest, the nicest, the sweetest, maybe one of the best people, humanitarian. I mean, we know that Rob Schneider's not nice. This is just a fact. I know it from Jake Hogan.
Yeah.
And I know it from, I had a meeting with Rob Schneider years ago.
Yeah.
He's nuts. He's nutsoid.
You had a short off?
I think I was taller than him.
I think you might be. Either way, you're a bigger man.
Do you know we once visited, this is true before things went sour, we visited the factories of Untuckit.com together because we were going to... Why does it make me happy? It shouldn't make me happy that I'm taller than him. What does that matter?
No, it should. Anything you have on him is good.
Oh, boy. So I think Twitter's going to go down
at least
faster.
you aren't hugged up against RFK Jr.'s leathery washboard.
I mean, what? I couldn't really place what that picture was. Is there a picture in the gym where who's doing the lips? I can't even focus. Is that RFK Jr. lying down?
I didn't see the lying down picture.
And Rob Schneider is spotting him.
He's actually bench pressing Rob Schneider, who's doing a plank.
Don't you find this dizzying in a way? It's dizzying in its outlandishness. RFK Jr. is going to run for president, and some schmuck like Schneider goes, "Hey, that guy was related to a president."
Well, and he's so horrible a person that he's actually been disavowed by the Kennedy clan. And how horrible a person do you have to be?
I mean, I forgot that he was the autism guy. That the autism. He's like Trump. I just say it does. Vaccines cause autism. I just said it.
All right. Exactly.
I'll say it again.
Exactly. I'll say it a lot.
And you know what? If you're going to have these kind of disgusting views, then I'm going to start not caring about your voice problem, whatever his thing is. Dysphonia, more like he's a phonia. I'm really upset with myself. It has nothing to do with him. Unbelievable. What a world. You know what I always say? What is that? What's that? It just shows what a world. Who are those people?
I think you're thinking of Louis Armstrong.
What movie did I watch? Oh, here's what I watched. I did watch a great documentary, but you've seen it already. And then you could argue about Grey Gardens. I've never seen that before.
It's creepy. It's a creepy fest, isn't it?
It is. It really is. But, it's like when I watched Crumb again. I didn't tell you about this. When I watched Crumb again, I was like, you could see that Zwigoff wasn't worried about exploitation.
Right.
Necessarily.
Right. No, he was definitely in look at this freak show mode.
In this case, I kind of believed that the Maisel brothers did not think that they were hard. They did like them, and they were showing them as they were.
Yes.
I mean, not as they were, but...
Well, I mean, but that was... Their ethic was to disappear.
Yes. I think I could have done... In that spirit, I could have done without the shot of the mother topless.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's not the point of the movie. But I just realized, is it possible that there was something within that shot that had to be... I'm sure they weren't going... Oh, I can't wait to people see our
Arch your back, shot. Coco. They wasn't doing that, I don't think.
What's that called?
Arch your back, Coco. He wasn't doing that.
My God, what is it?
That's from Fame.
Oh, okay. But the thing about it was, I just thought, you've already gone through this. I just thought the whole thing was so fascinating. Also, I don't love it's hard to watch. It's not easy to watch. It's hard to watch,
Have-
but it's also not terrible to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's, they're human beings, so
Right.
there is humanity to attach to there, But,
Yes.
but it's also just it's a pretty uncomfortable movie.
I'll have to tell you something. It does not make the Bouviers.
Did you ever watch Salesman?
Yes, I thought that was a great movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why going in I was willing to. It's so funny. I was like, I really have that black and white. Where I go, I like this movie, and I have to know that the Maisel brothers are practically Jesus quality. I don't know why I require that, but their sensitivity. I mean, that Salesman movie, I've only seen that once and it stuck with me.
Yeah.
What was the other one they made?
Well, they did Give Me Shelter, and they did.
I've never seen Give Me Shelter. Is that great?
Well, if you're interested in Altamont and the Stones, it is.
I am. And, I never had heard, I learned this on Wikipedia, which you told me to stay away from, but it's called direct cinema.
That was WebMD. I told you to stay away.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing about WebMD, what I thought you said was, why can't I do my own interactive removing of my tonsils? What was I saying before? I got horribly.
Before you leaned in that close for that.
Before I leaned in that close again. Boy. I forget now.
You were talking about the Maisels.
The Maisels. Yeah. Give Me Shelter I'd like to see because, it's called direct cinema. Something like that.
Yeah.
It was a style was direct cinema, which means you might hear the filmmakers talking, but that's only because they're interacting, but they're not putting their own, spin on it. They're not narrating it.
Right.
It's so as opposed to cinema verite, which is a style. Why am I so boring? Manish Tana, I'm the most boring man in the world, and I have to show people I have knowledge. Manish Tana, it's so important for me to say I saw a documentary and then tell Josh about it, and he's always disappointed.
I think two more questions, I think.
Oh, well, first of all, does the song change? Or it's always, why on this day is the food even worse than normal? And why do we in general have a horrible diet as Jews? No, I don't want any more flanking, Mommy. Mommy did not make flanking. Believe me. She did not even know what that would have been.
The flanking. Some more Kugel, honey?
The only thing my mom made, she made homemade chicken noodle soup, which she actually included in it that she wouldn't cut up the chicken. She let it fall apart in the soup, and that's the fun, sweetie, isn't it? You getting the chicken in the pot. You know what? I'm really tired of the representation of my mother on this show. And I don't want people to think, like the impression I'm giving is that she wasn't like a June Cleaver or, she wasn't making breakfast for me at lunch.
Right.
And I just want you to say that is true. She didn't do any of those things and worse. No, stop it. Stop it. If my mother is still listening. Oh.
Yeah.
How many people in my family do you think listen? I think none.
I'm pretty sure none. Because I can't imagine your family staying silent about it.
Well, also, I just don't think the format is not.
Well, it includes you, I think, is the problem.
If they went, I heard he has a podcast. Let's see if there's anything juicy that goes on. You'd have to listen. I've had family members go, yes, I did listen. I loved it. But then you don't hear them later on going, hey, send me more.
All right. Now, my brother is fessed up to falling off the wagon. Or on the wagon, however.
You mean he doesn't listen to the show?
Not anymore, no.
No, I mean, I can't, you can't make someone like that. Why are we told, this should not be a promo for the show. No, whatever you do, this should not be. I keep thinking that we're going to get some kind of award. I keep writing my own life as if I'm dead. And that as if that it's somehow in this scenario, I've died and there's some kind of afterwards, and including in the afterwards about my life, there's a small segment about my podcast that a lot of people do, and then there's people go, I loved it, unbelievable. But then what would this special be? Who would watch this special, and where would it be shown?
I think it would be on Freevee.
That's so terrible. It just the image to me is that someone actually paid money or came up with the name Freevee. Freevee.
It would be ironic if someone paid money to come up with Freevee.
No, but aren't all of these the same thing? Antenna, we'll give you 12 of the top channels, $6 a month. That's all. You want the news? That's extra. You want anything that's concurrent? Hey, have you noticed the Spectrum? They really are stepping it up. Maybe they are cutting back with their advertising money and putting $1 or $2 into their on-screen technology.
Yeah,
it's like a spaceship now. Do you know, Josh?
I'm gonna come and cut your cord.
Okay, but here's one thing I don't think I ever would be able. I think I'm not capable of being a horrible person.
Really?
And one way that I'm not capable of being a horrible person, and one way would be you would never, with my OCD, you would never see me sending people down on a submersible. Forget about it. The guilt, just the guilt.
Right, but in their defense, the guy who sent them actually went with them.
I know, that's the thing. It's like it's a murder-suicide, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah. Because,
wait a second, was there anybody from his company? Here's what I've heard.
Well, yeah, the whole company wasn't on the submersible, but the CEO was.
Well, what does the rest of the company do? Just take in the $250,000, who could live with themselves? I'm sorry. I feel bad that that guy died. But on the other hand, I'd like to have a word with him.
It's an expensive business. There's a lot of underhead.
I like the way he's like, we're explorers. We don't test. That's the beauty of it. It's like a modern romance. That's the beauty of it. If the shoes don't fit, bring them back. That's the beauty of it. We don't know how it's going to happen. We just think it's yes, we're willing to find out if it works. Test run, schmest run.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even send a monkey down there.
These are the guys who've tested their podcast 315 times talking.
I still like our name. I'll stand and when I'm imagining that I'm dead and they're talking about the podcast,
yes.
I imagine them saying things like, well, would I be alive still? Maybe I'm alive and I did this and now I'm dead and everyone's appreciating it.
Your eulogy will be real show number 1.
And I say, I'll always, think about this. I like that. I really still love the name because the name implies that we're not exactly complete yet. See, this would be all part of the documentary.
Sure. And then there's commercials because it's freebie.
The thing that's confusing, don't get me wrong, don't get me right. I might be crazy. I enjoy my Roku. My Roku remote is my favorite remote, and my Roku thing is my favorite of all the things I've bought. The least favorite being Disney Plus, because I haven't watched one thing on Disney Plus except for the Beatles thing.
Yeah.
And I still haven't watched the last one. There's literally nothing on that channel that interests me. Why is that? You probably get a lot of joy from Son of Flubber or whatever you listen to over there, or Freevee and the Man.
The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. Hello. Which is kind of a funny movie, by the way.
Is it good?
It's a funny movie, yeah.
Okay. When did this real terrible day thing happen? The very terrible day of very horrible, terrible day of this person.
I'm not
what I'm talking about?
I know.
Okay, forget it. Just go through it.
I know about as much as you know.
Just drive through it, though.
Okay, all right. But you're still paying for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But you got the bundle, right? You got the Hulu.
Oh, I don't want to give it up then. If it's part of Hulu, Hulu's like my best friend that's out of town when Susan's not here, and I need to have a best friend who's a TV channel. right?
Yeah.
But I don't subscribe to. I don't subscribe to. What else would you subscribe? I don't subscribe to Roku Plus. Just getting the controller from them.
Uh-huh.
God, I'm the most boring. I am not just the most boring guy in the world.
I think you might be. I think you
I'm
might
also
be.
a malevolent. I'm also a malevolent influence. There's nothing good about what I'm doing.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's really true.
Come
It's
on,
true.
Josh.
No,
You've had a tough week last week, but now you...
poisoning me.
No, Josh. Now it's back to catering to me and baby facing.
Do I have to check in on you this week? Are you okay with the TV channels? Are you okay? Is everything okay?
You know, one thing I really don't like is this depiction of me as like just off the charts as this horrible person.
Well,
horrible.
Well,
Rob Schneider.
Again, I'm a mirror, Andy. I'm just a mirror.
Well, let me ask you a question. Now, you wear hats.
I do,
but they're not like. You're not trying to be a 1930s dandy. What is he trying to be with those little beanie hats? Or
he's trying to be a little bit taller, Andy. Just a little bit taller.
But where do you wear those kind of hats? On the golf course?
What was? Oh, he was wearing like a caddy cap kind of thing, wasn't he?
Oh yes, it looked like Caddyshack.
A caddy cap kind of thing.
Yes. Oh, is that what that is?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but it also could be one of those things like a guy in the 40s, almost like no, I was going to say it could be like a bad guy in the old black and white movies, but it's not. It looks like a beanie. It looks a little bit like the Tim Conway hat sometimes.
Dorf on RFK.
Right, but that's at least supposed to be funny. Now tell people again why initially when you were growing up, you were a big fan of RFK Jr. and why it's very painful for you right now because of how much you admired him and Cheryl Hahn. How could Cheryl Hahn, look, God bless her, which means I'm going to slam her, but I don't even care. How do you stay married to that guy? If she stays married to him? She don't stay married to him.
She's there. It's not like
she's on the campaign trail.
It's not like these beliefs came out of the blue.
I know, that's the thing. She couldn't have married this guy not knowing he was the well, so people are yelling at me because I showed a perfectly innocent picture of me with I'm thinking here's a celebrity, and they go, he was bad then too, Kindler, RFK Jr. You haven't seen it, but I'll dress it up for you. Picture of me with RFK Jr. It's just one of the things that happens when I'm out and about at the airports,
sure,
things like that. And people are going,
I mean, there's a picture of you and Dane Cook too, so.
I'm thinking about if you really could control, if people really could show all the horrible people that you had taking pictures with, even if they weren't like famous, but you could learn about how horrible they were, you'd be about 20, 50,000 shots of your arm draped over a murderer.
Right. Or if you're Sylvester Stallone, it would be like 50,000 shots of you pretending to punch a murderer. Because he always does. He always does the boxer pose.
Do you think that Sly Stallone, and this is really rude of me to say, but do you think he has a small, tiny penis? Or do you think it's just because you have to make a rumor about a guy like that as having a small, tiny penis? Because it just...
I hadn't heard the rumor.
Oh, okay. For a second I actually felt... Here's how I felt inside. What the fuck are you doing, Andy? It's Sly Stallone.
I'm not trying to protect you. I just hadn't heard the rumor.
And I'm tired of people putting down Frank
one could
Stallone.
make an assumption, but I never heard the rumor about Sly Stallone's penis.
I have heard that.
Yeah, was it a micro penis situation? What is it?
Well, that's the thing. As I talk about the micro penis thing, I realize that that's an actual thing, and then you are hurting people's feelings. And so I'm sorry about the whole thing. Right?
I forgive you.
The thing is, Josh, when you're so well endowed like me, you don't think it could be sensitive about. I'm not sensitive about that area because let's just say, hello, 3 inches. I'm not folding it in half. No, that's not good. 1 inch from the floor.
Hilarious.
Why does the face help you with the voice?
Absolutely, it's absolutely necessary.
Oh,
the mouth shape is where it's all at.
Oh, I haven't seen any action till the landing of the Normandy beach. Why am I ruining it?
I don't know.
And you were excited that there would be dueling flaccid penises.
Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom.
So many images, the deliverance photos, my flaccid penis. There's too much here. There's too much in this image.
This rich pastiche.
What is there, a plane? This is one of the few times I can actually look out and see what the plane is doing.
There's choppers overhead.
Yeah.
And it's because there was some hazmat incident at
was there really?
At Galleria, yes.
There's
an APB out for Spicoli.
Can you do the report about the Galleria? Something spun out, please. He spun out.
There were no survivors.
There were no survivors. Why is it so important for radar to use lingo right then? It spun out.
It spun in.
What the fuck does that even mean?
It spun in.
Oh, it spun in means it came back?
No, it spun
First
into
of all,
the water.
There were no survivors, especially not McLean's career. How are you people doing? What year is this? Is it 1977? Hello? Do you know that life?
Trapper John, he spun off.
My theory is that when you get older like me, time speeds up. Because to me, it seems like Hello Larry was a reference way longer than current bombs are a reference. Like that you could use it for years as an example of a terrible sitcom.
You could, but it's over now.
It's over now.
It's over now. There's no one who remembers Hello Larry under 50.
But doesn't that mean there was less entertainment and less things going on?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
Yes,
it really does.
Yes.
It really
Super Train worked for a while, too. Doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, there's no going back. I did read an interesting article in the New Yorker about Marvel, the birth of Marvel and the different things. I recommend it to anybody, even though I sound like an idiot. The pressure's on.
There's a Stan Lee documentary on Disney Plus.
About Stan Lee?
Yes, and the birth of Marvel.
And is it good?
Yeah, it's a little, Stan Lee-centric, but yeah.
Well, that's if
you're a member of the Jack Kirby family, you might have more issues with it.
Right.
But
you might be upset. Would they bitter enemies? Because he ripped them off, right?
No, he just ripped it. It's just a credit issue more than it is a...
a pay issue.
Yeah.
Well, also arguments later about who got the actual one, in his case, but he didn't get to keep the originals. Some of the people didn't get to keep the originals.
Yeah.
Of their...
Which would make sense since it was work for hire.
All of a sudden, look who showed up. I'm trying to be Norman Ray over here. Oh, Josh, I'm a little worried about myself because usually I can muster negative energy.
I know, but I'm worried you're not going to be interesting for another 25 minutes.
Don't do this, Josh. Don't you dare. Because not only was I on time today, I was even a second early. No,
you weren't.
I could have been.
I can't give you that.
Let me ask you this. I think it would be obnoxious if I started to go at 10:20 just to prove something, because that's what it would be.
Yeah.
10:27. I'm ready. 10:26. Ready.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little show off? That's not the point. The point is it should be on time. No, if I'm ready, it can be whenever you're ready. Okay, maybe I'll start doing it at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay. You just watch what happens.
Okay, well, I will watch. But, Josh, I'm very excited about something that you're going to say is boring, and you're going to say it's not interesting.
Okay.
But I'm very excited because I don't know if it means my taste buds have changed, or I have found the perfect, or my taste buds have changed in the good way.
Uh-huh.
I
ate a salad.
I have Dave's, here's what I buy.
Yeah.
Dave's Killer Bread Bagels.
Yeah.
I buy them room temperature, like they come out.
Uh-huh.
And then I buy cream cheese, and I buy I've been into Gravlax recently. Gravlax.
Yeah.
And so then I will. Do you know how many grams of whole grain grams there are in the Killer Bagel? 26 grams
Jesus
of whole
Christ.
grains.
How are you not clutching your insides?
And then I'm putting protein, very good quality salmon. And it tastes as good as anything I've ever had. It now tastes better than any bagel. I'm now acclimated fully to it.
Wow. That's sad.
Okay, my question is this. You're a sane person. You're from the regular world.
Sure.
My belief that I've reached some kind of health nirvana, is that still incorrect?
Well, a layer of cream cheese is never that great for you.
Okay, so what if I went less with the cream cheese?
Less cream cheese is always going to be a smart health move.
Okay, but the salmon's good.
Salmon, salty, but good.
Right. That's true. I don't buy the salt thing only because it hasn't affected my family.
Right, I know. I know how your health lexicon works.
Lexicon means like your language or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Also, Joshua.
Yes, and Delina.
This is my second week I'm doing this.
I
have
asking me about my dog.
No, I know. It's a little much with me. I stopped taking Adderall at 3:00.
We talked about this. Is it still working? Are you sleeping again?
Yes, it worked.
Excellent.
The first day it worked.
It was 2:00 originally, so you've already pushed it back.
No, I've cheated two ways. On the weekend, I drank. Okay, I stopped taking Adderall at whatever it was, two most days, 3 one day, and then I stopped. But then I would start drinking a little bit of coffee. But I think the Adderall is much more keeps you up at night than the caffeine.
No, if I take an Adderall in the evening, it's way different than if I took a cup of coffee in the evening.
Right. So we know that. I think you've said it more. You know what? I think you said it succinctly. and yeah. So I just cannot believe I'm just like a marvel, a medical marvel of some kind. I'm so scared I'm going to drop dead. Not really though. I don't want to give you the impression like I'm a putz walking around going, don't feel well.
No, I mean, I think, not destroying your sleep with stimulants is a great step towards better health.
Also, this all sounds terrible, but now I'm almost getting up to 4 miles a day of the walking. That's a big difference. I told people at the beginning, I told nobody that I would go from 3 miles a day up to 4 miles a day. So I think I'm going to do it.
That's great. That's 33% more.
No, I think it's 25% more. Okay, don't start.
No, it's not.
I don't like adding. I don't want to get in an adding argument because I'm sure I'm going to be wrong. When are you getting all your things installed? You still don't know yet, right?
Don't know. It looks like a couple weeks out.
Okay.
It's going to be a podcast ruiner once it's happening.
It doesn't take 10 minutes to put everything in, right?
No, it's going to take about 6 days to get everything in.
Wow. Wowzy. Wow. You had a whole big situation going on.
It's a large situation happening, yes.
Now I don't feel bad about my one little mold remediation.
No.
I don't feel bad. I try to compare all the time because I hope nobody can hear me, but the idea of being on like with a condo board.
Yeah.
And it's not happening.
No.
It's not good.
No.
It's not good.
You aren't seeking leadership?
No, but even if you're not, it's just the point of, it's annoying. It's very, very annoying because you're talking to people all the time that you're finding out things on people all the time that you don't want to find out about. But there's no guarantee that with a crazy neighbor next door that you wouldn't have trouble too. Right. In a regular house. And absolutely, you've spent way more money than I've spent. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just by definition.
Yeah. Well, I've been here for 25 years too. So.
Right, but don't lord it over me. This is the thing. Remember when you were going to move? You were almost going to move. Remember when the interest rates were negative and houses were going up? And I said, sell. You were going to, I forgot where you were going to go. You were going to go south of the border, or south, you were going to go into the hills, I think, maybe, right?
No, all of this is fiction.
You don't lie to me now, Josh. Don't lie to me. You told me one time that you were thinking maybe of moving. Don't lie to me and your family.
Nope.
Maybe I had asked you.
Please move, you might have said.
No, you know what it is? I've seen people go through this boom before. So I saw Chris Bliss go through a boom. And in my mind, the grass is always greener. So I always thought that Chris Bliss had sold his house for $7 million and bought it for $3,000 and then was able to move all around the country. But he did make money on his house, but that did not guarantee that my dream is you get 30 times the price and you move to Tahiti.
All right.
Something like that.
Yes. Or somewhere cheaper.
Somewhere cheaper.
A Tahitian suburb.
But that's just I guess it's just because shouldn't I have learned from the fact that I had owned my parents' house that was bought for $30,000.
Yeah.
That was worth over $1 million. That I didn't see any profit from it. Shouldn't I have learned from that my dream is wrong?
How did you not see any profit from it?
Because we had to. I did see a little profit, but we had refinanced the house to pay for my mom's health care and stuff like that. You know. Now I could have said at the end of the whole thing, "Hey, Rob, you can afford the health care, huh?
Right.
Give me a little chunk of schmook." But that just shows you, for years, I would dine out on that story. I would live on that. If I fly back to East to visit the family, and I'd have it was very important for me when the cab driver would drop me off, and still important to me this day, to show that I'm just a regular guy. My parents bought this house for $20,000.
All right.
Don't think that I'm rich enough to afford this. Why would I be like that? Why? At age 40? At age 50?
I don't know.
Why, Josh?
You should be rich enough to afford a house at that age.
No. But why? In other words, you're so insecure that you are literally going to worry that the taxi driver who took you to Queens is going to think that you were spoiled. He's going to
Here you go, Rockefeller. Here you go.
Must be nice. I'm not just telling you. It actually feels freeing to let these things go. These sides of my personality that I'm not proud of.
We're here at San Simeon.
I'm telling you, there hasn't been one time where the Uber driver or taxi didn't drop me off in front of my parents' house where I didn't go, don't get me wrong. They bought this in everybody knows the price of the house and when it was bought.
Yeah.
1959 for $30,000.
That's great.
But don't think, but what are you trying to prove to somebody? I'm just like you?
I don't know. It sounds like you're trying to get out of a good tip is what it really sounds like.
No, I tip good too because that's part of the Jew. See, you're going to always get a good tip from me because of the Jewish fear of stereotypes.
Well, I know you're afraid that someone will think you're a homeowner.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say homo because of the way you said. Look, I'm not talking about regular sexual people. Has there been any
I'm not a homosexual. I'm a real person, is what.
Right? Yes. Has there been any blowback to any of my comments, or is there too little? People know that I'm such a great person. Is that what it is?
Well, I think the offended people just couldn't reach the keyboard.
I love to make fun of people who are shorter than me because I have convinced myself that I'm just pleasantly short. I'm not like a Napoleon. Oh, Napoleon, how sad for you. Okay, I'm done with that. But Josh,
yes.
as we head into now, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I thought I had something good.
Wow, damn.
No, when they were covering Andrea Mitchell always has this tendency to go, couldn't they see this coming? She's been okay, but how come they didn't see this coming? And then someone pointed out, no one can see. You can't see what's actually coming sometimes. You couldn't see it.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. So you don't get that reference.
I don't get that at all. What is that from Monty Python?
Indeed it is.
What? That's pretty good that I got that.
It was that you got the flavor of non sequitur, at least.
Okay, so what's the scene?
It's just a callback where literally, someone. I wasn't expecting the Spanish Inquisition, and then three medieval priests break in. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
All right, I decided, just in case anyone out there wants to make commercials, I've decided what is wrong with the commercial with the dead people are trying to sell you on Office Space. WeWork.
Dead guys network. Way back when the started taking up again. We'll build freelance teams with more agility. The old way of working is deader than me. We'll build up when you're scaled down. Before you're 6 feet underground.
Oh, God, it's so terrible. And here's the thing. When the commercial starts, before the first
and it's not for,
body
it's
part
not for
falls
Office
off.
Space, by the way.
It's Office Space, right?
It's not Office Space, no.
Oh, what is it for?
It's for connecting freelance. We'll build freelance teams with more agility.
I hate those people. I hope they never get
it's
one.
saying instead of having an office, you hire some fucking cheap person in Brazil to do your thing.
Oh, so in other words, it's like a we're all contractors in a way.
Yes.
You know who I think I really don't care about anymore is Angie's from. I loved her when she was Angie's List.
Right.
Then I loved her when she was Angie's. Yeah. But then when she spells it ANGI.
It gives you angina.
The other thing I was going to send you was a Valpak coupon.
That was good.
A coupon that would give you a free Valpak.
Free dog, maybe.
Free what?
A free dog gift certificate, maybe.
Do you know I still have to, for some reason, whether I'm 90 or I'm 9, every other Valpak I still open up.
Do you really?
Still open, and it's like, and then I decided.
Have you ever used a coupon?
I think I once used one for a car wash and felt horrible for weeks afterwards.
Why?
Because it's like why are you?
They cheated you on your car wash somehow, or
no? Because it seems sad. It seems like a sad life.
I don't think it is. I mean, I don't use them, but that's because I'm lazy, not because I'm embarrassed.
Okay, so what do you do? I don't have a current dry cleaner, all right? So I go into a dry cleaner, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying for you to recommend somebody, but I go into a dry cleaner, and I like this place, and it looks nice and everything. I go, okay. And he goes, hey, give me my car. He goes, yeah, what do you have prices? He goes, no, but he goes, when you're ready, call me, and I can give you good prices. Every dry cleaner has said the same thing to me, unless it's Flair, in which they take those stupid things and then they're still ripping you off. How do you get past bargaining on your dry cleaning at age 66?
Well, there's a number of ways you can. One is you can just not care.
That should be what I do, right?
Bring it in, then pick it up and pay for it.
Is that what you do?
A lot of times.
You go to a really good place, or you?
Well, I'll go to that place near our drugstore sometimes, but you have to bring in more than like there. The key is you got to bring in more than 6 pieces, and the price drops radically. I think at that point.
But I just want to get. You're going to give me. Here's what I want. I'm going to give you a good price. I'm not going to give you a crazy price.
All right.
Then you don't have to bring these coupons in all the time.
Right.
Deal?
I don't know that you're going to find that kind of. I think
this guy said, call me.
I think if you're a weekly customer, you can build that kind of rapport.
Okay.
If you come in every 4 months with 6 shirts, they might not give you that insider track.
I just can't believe it. To me, it's like I used to sell stereos, and this seems more high pressure than that.
My dad was a lawyer, so he had like a pretty consistent, shirt laundering need.
Right.
So I think my parents did, in fact, have a nice little rapport with the dry cleaner on the corner. But
did I tell you that after when my sister took over my mother's stuff, right? This guy was
like paying her bills and things.
Yeah, paying her bills. So.
Okay.
This guy comes over and delivers the dry cleaning. He's been delivering the dry cleaning, I guess, since we were kids. Right?
Uh-huh.
And my sister says, did my mom ever tip you? No. So then she tipped him start tipping him for.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, there are people in this house who would have tipped you. I really do think that guy must have gone so far back to because I remember when I grew up with everybody, you put it on a tab. You did, you had a lot of things that were very small townish that you wouldn't expect, Manhattan or something.
Right.
Like, but my mom could be so she was generous if she remembered to tip. She was not a non-generous person. I really think I'm really, can you take out all the negative things I've said? I really don't think people know that I love my mother. And I want to tell her right now, God, what's that one with where Jackie Gleason can't stop?
She's a blabbermouth? Because she's a blabbermouth?
Your mother. Yeah, your mother doesn't mean it, Alice. She doesn't mean it. It's just her nature. She's a blabbermouth. I'm not saying you should hang up on me. I'm not saying you could hang up on me. But here's what I think I could say.
Yeah.
I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you need to be sure about it. I'll make you so sure about it. Am I doing like an Adam Sandler thing?
A little bit.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
Somewhere between Adam Sandler and Gene Stapleton.
Were you fascinated with the fact that they redid that song so that they could hear G, our old La Salle ran great? Did you know that, or do you think I'm lying?
Well, no, they did actually, I think, more than just two versions, but yeah.
Yeah, this is him. This is a typical J.W. J. Elvis. Oh, my God, this is an earthquake. This is a typical J.W. I say something, he goes, actually, you're close to being...
Now I'm holding on to you like a
I wonder if he's gonna like what he's gonna be like today, Susan. Josh, he's always so. You know what I mean? Oh no! Oh, I had something. I have my wit. Oh my God, Josh!
Hi. Maybe plug in your mic and use it.
That whole bit was ruined.
Why?
I didn't have my mic plugged in. Okay. Shoot. Oh, that was one of my best bits. Are we on? You want me to do it again?
No, I don't.
I hope he's going to be in a good mood today. Fuck who? Fuck face? All right, let's go. Oh my God, you have crazy eyes. Why do you have crazy eyes? Let me do that again. That's a skill. You know what makes it even better is the severe depression that you come off of it with.
Yeah.
That's anger. That's not.
I just want you to know it's 100% forced.
Really? Because
Yes.
it sounded like It sounded
There's
like you were getting
zero pleasure being caused by you in that.
know why that bit's funny to me. She couldn't care less about what we're doing. All right, so
Why should tonight be any different?
Manishtano. Did we come up with the fifth question? Manishtano. On the other nights we eat bad food, but tonight we eat bad food, but we claim it's representative of something.
It's my impression of Columbo at a Seder. I just have one more question.
All right. Look.
Can we buckle down? Can we buckle down now?
I'm sorry. I apologize that I didn't have my mic in. We even just talked about, me and the wife talked about a checklist for people our age.
Yeah.
Because I did my whole show with Megan last night without turning my Wi-Fi on. Just a little checklist.
So how did you do your whole show?
I don't know. Verizon has very good
Apparently,
coverage.
yeah, okay.
But I didn't check to see Wi-Fi off, did I? What does that mean? How are things going at the house? How's the family responding to everything? The new windows, the new everything. The new pecking order, doggy pecking order.
The new doggy pecking order seems to be established.
Is Lucky mean, or Lucky's like, get the fuck, is like that kind of thing?
No.
It's my house now.
No, Lucky is tolerant. But, I mean, there's not the same bond that there was between Lucky and Clyde, between Lucky and Cody. But
it could get there, right? No, I don't know. They're just so different. They're so many ages.
Big age gap.
Do you think Lucky would say, to me, it was like I grew up in a different family than Cody?
Right. It's like he's an only dog this way.
Why can't they talk like that? Why can't that? It seems like a simple technological breakthrough to figure out what, and they'll be like, finally, what do you think I mean when I'm looking towards the door? I want you to open the goddamn door and let me out. And I know that's going to be Beethoven 7. No, it's not Beethoven. Look who's talking now.
All right.
You know, I have to admit, I laughed at a couple of minutes of the first movie.
That's okay.
Did you think it was funny, the first movie?
I didn't think it was particularly funny, but there was probably good jokes in it.
It had the guy who's sick now. What's his name?
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. How's he doing? He has a bad
I liked
right?
it when he had the baby say, "I'm getting too old for this shit."
Did he really have the baby say that? No. Oh, God. That's so stupid. Why wouldn't they go for that joke?
They might have. They might.
It was hilarious.
I can't go joke for joke with the whole series.
I read an article in the New Yorker. There's some very, very smart. And not only that, I keep up on things. And so anyway, I now know more about the Marvel Cinematic Universe than I knew.
Yeah.
And I know about the different stages in the. Do you know about this guy Perlmutter who ran I'm not saying is Israeli. I'm Jewish, so I can say this.
Yeah.
But he would like say paper clips.
Yeah.
And yell at people.
This is like
Perlmutter.
This is like Permuter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Perlmutter.
I don't know.
He's okay. And Fiji.
Feig.
Feig. And then the guy, David Maisel, he was for years. He was the main guy he had spent 2 years with Endeavor, and then he went. And then for many years they had to fight because Sony owned the rights to Spider-Man. And they had to really,
Spider-Man, he says. He owns the right to Spider-Man, he says.
It's a Spider-Man. Anyway, according to the article, it's not a great state right now. There's a lot of different problems going on. I'm not even sure what. It's not just the strike. Other things are happening.
No, there's superhero fatigue, I believe.
That's what it is, right?
I believe it is.
When was the last movie you enjoyed?
Last I enjoyed? That's hard to say.
Wakanda?
Maybe the Thor with the Hulk, funny Hulk first, like.
Oh, so it's kind of humorous one.
Yeah, I
can't
remember exactly what it was called. It was Thor something though. It was the third Thor movie.
And then you're out from now, and you're out.
Well, I watch them because I got the Disney Plus, but I don't.
But I mean, do you watch them with your mind wandering, or how do you watch those movies?
More and more with my mind wandering, but I was, they were good, solid entertainment fare for a long time. But at a certain point, it's like, I don't care what these people can do. I don't care who they're fighting. I don't care about the lack of physics and the bad final battle. I don't care anymore. But
you don't care about the problems that.
But if you watch Marvel movies versus DC movies, you go, oh no, Marvel has a much better take on how to do this.
Well, that seemed to be what the idea was in the article, was that DC never really.
Yeah, no, DC takes it all way too fucking seriously. And that's why you keep hearing things like, it's such a dark Batman movie. No, it's a Batman movie.
Well, everybody's life is different. Everybody's world experiences are different. But to me, I stayed with just because of the way my mind is, I stayed with the Fantastic Four, and I liked Spider-Man because they were moody. He was moody. Right. I liked Fantastic Four's get the hell out of here thing. Shut up. Invisible schmuck. They had a little banter going on.
Sure, there's plenty of banter in these Marvel movies. Don't be put off by a lack of banter, because there's plenty.
But now I'm realizing when I was old enough to no longer care about the plots, right, they completely left me cold.
Yeah.
Superhero things. I just went straight for sitcoms or comedies or
sure.
So it's like, to me, it's
No, I was never a comic book kid. I had some, but I was never into the stories, and I never felt the real stakes of any of it.
The kind that I'm into, the alternative comics, is still such a small part of that scene.
Right.
Daniel Clowes, Chris Ware.
No, that's for people who would read novels but can't read.
Oh. All right. Maybe we'll go to the letters now. But here's the thing. As you get older, you see, when I got into comics, the alternative comics, it was just like regular slice of life things.
Right.
But to me, when Patton sent me the Sandman things, what is it? It sounds it reads melodramatic to me.
Yeah.
Is that what I mean? Is it just that I don't get what that guy's saying? Who's that Sandman guy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, the Sandman. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dust Covers, the Sandman. He's the most famous writer in that genre.
Okay. Sorry.
The Sandman.
Yeah.
The Sandman. Cover for me.
All right.
The Sandman.
And he's looking up something he says I should absolutely know. He's both making me feel stupid for not knowing it while looking it up.
Okay, here it is. The Collected Sandman is by... Well, who's the guy who does it?
Duh.
Neil Gaiman.
Oh, him. Yeah, I don't like him.
Right, well, how could you not remember that name?
I don't like him.
Well, that's what I'm telling you.
If you would have said another thing he did, I might have recognized it.
Well,
I'm not a fan of Neil Gaiman or his entire cult of Neil Gaiman.
A universe, right?
Yeah.
The universe.
No, just the cult of Neil Gaiman, really.
I'm not convinced it is definitely Neil Gaiman. Definitely is Neil Gaiman. Yes. Who's the guy who wrote Cavalier and Clay? I was supposed to get into him. I never got into him.
I don't know. It's not my world, man. It's not
Did
my
you read
world,
Cavalier
man.
and Clay?
I did not.
You know, okay, come on. He read Cavalier and Clay. Jesus Christ. Am I going to have to spend the whole time trying to remember things?
Am I going to have to spend tomorrow editing out you trying to remember things?
Probably. Cavalier, and Clay. Yes. That's a guy. Oh, God. What is the name? Michael Chabon.
Okay, so yeah.
Do you know him?
I do.
He's another one of these guys who wrote, he loquaciously, like he writes for the New Yorker, he loquaciously let his words you don't understand, concepts you don't understand, and people are going nuts for it.
Yeah.
You're the only one who didn't claim to read Cavalier and Clay that I've known.
I feel good about that.
Eddie Gordetsky said it was great.
Yeah.
And I can't get three. It's about the guy. It's a very famous book about based on the people who discovered Superman. It was
discovered Superman?
Well, didn't they discover him? Well, they invented him. It's the worst. It's the worst super character of all. It's the worst super character ever invented.
Superman?
Oh, he does. Can he run? He runs the fastest. Can he? Yes. He's stronger than everybody. He's the most. But those guys, Simon and Schuster, did get ripped off a little bit. Joe Shuster, it's like talking to the only person in the world who has no knowledge. And I should have more knowledge of this because I like alternative comic books. I like Harvey Pekar. Sure. I like that. Zero.
I know.
It's like,
I mean, if you were to evaluate this conversation, you've known nothing either. You've looked up everything or been wrong about every single thing you've said.
I don't think I've been wrong.
Simon and Schuster creating Superman? Come on.
That was a joke.
Okay, but still.
Like, Simon and Schuster was me being fun.
Right, but who are the real people?
Joe Shuster, I believe, is who's one of the two guys, the two schlubs who came up with Superman. Dr. Joe Shuster and Herbie. It's like names like that. Herbie Wendelman.
Yeah, Joe Shuster's correct.
Okay, and then there's one other guy, Stan Lee. No, I don't know. What's his name?
Jerry Siegel and George.
Oh. And they got nothing. They got ripped off, and that's why you get tired of hearing about it. Well, maybe you should have got a better lawyer.
You know what? It turns out that contracts were their kryptonite.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Pickle says, my friend used to like going to watch silent movies until she Buster Keaton. Oh, God. Why don't you just send us a joke book, Pickles, if you're not in town? It's like a joke book, right?
It is.
What do you mean? Unless she Buster Keaton? Oh, she busted her Keaton. Dan Marsh says, hey, guys, what everyday items or knickknacks have you kept from relatives who have passed? And which of those or your own possessions do you want your families to have when you depart for the old showbiz home in the sky?
That's sad. That's the sad concept, is that when you die, you go to an old folks' home. That in the sky. That's I don't think heaven is an old.
No, it's an old showbiz home. It's not
right.
just an old home.
I know.
There's a lot of every Friday's
I'd
down,
rather go to the old showbiz home on Earth and then just go to heaven.
True. I want to go neither. I'm not going to the show. It's a joke.
No, you'll
about
drop
me
dead.
living in
You'll
the
drop
home.
dead walking. So don't worry.
Drop dead walking. Every Wednesday night here at Thousand Oaks retirement showbiz retirement home, Andy will do his act from when he does his state of the industry. Andy, talk about your jokes about Robin Williams.
No, it's going to be about the care industry.
Yeah, this is great. This is great. Thank you, SAG. Oh, did my dues go to that? Is that why I get the special plastic sheet?
Have you seen Nurse Steve's new shtick?
Dan Marsh says, "Hey, guy." Oh, Jesus Christ!
What, do you have any of the old knickknacks? Do you have any particular things?
I have.
Or
so much...
have you left the family heirlooms to the people who have kids?
I have things that were given to me when when the house was closed.
Yeah.
So I have some of those knickknacks.
Right.
But and antiques and things. A couple of antiques.
Yeah. Scary dolls.
Yeah, I have a scary doll. I have a very cute doll. But my parents were able to sell almost all of their collections while they were still alive.
Because they were that astute as collectors.
They were really astute. They were pretty amazing. And the scary thing was when we had someone we knew tipped off and stole the Coke trays, the very valuable Coke trays that were in my parents' house that only they could have known about. Only those people go, "Hey, Joe, Larry, those are nice trays, right?" Yeah, they're really good, Al. Not Al, that'd be my uncle.
No,
they're really good, Eddie.
Turns out it was the same ABA player who took your weed.
I can't believe you remember he was with the ABA.
It was last week, Andy. We just talked about it.
No, I still don't think it's a big thing to remember. You could have said the Continental Basketball Association. You could have said Italian, but you remembered that there was. I think the reason was because you almost didn't remember there was an ABA last week, and I would have had to have gone to red, white, and blue basketball. Is that what they had?
Yes, they had.
I can't believe Dr. J is so impressed by Michael Jordan that he puts himself down in a way. Now he puts himself down. I thought Dr. J was amazing, but he doesn't think he was anything like Michael Jordan. Is it because he wasn't? He was in an earlier time period, and he wasn't as dominant.
Well,
but he was the first guy, one of the first guys to. If I knew anything about sports, maybe you could help me.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, Andy, game knows game. So for you to second guess Dr. J.
Jason pouring one out. What?
Jason pouring one out for Clyde. Pardon.
As it is very likely that we are not the only intelligent life in the universe, have you ever considered that while we are standing on Earth, looking out into space at our constellations, another entity somewhere else is looking up, and we are a part of theirs? I think that could be true, but I don't see how we're intelligent, though.
Yeah, the other thing is you don't see planets in a constellation.
Are you making fun of him? Are you making fun of him? Are you telling me that you don't see other Earths up there?
No, you don't. You see other suns, perhaps, but not other Earths.
Well, how about if you're looking at that sun and it's bouncing off of Shmegangi in the quadrant next to the Go ahead. You can take the next question.
Jason pouring one out for Clyde Parton. By the way, thank you for the name. When Clint Eastwood dies, I hope the chair gets to give the eulogy. Yeah, I think we've slipped past the window for that joke, Jason.
Oh, I didn't even know what he was talking about.
Exactly.
Why would you bring back Clint Eastwood at this point? That's what I'm questioning. Grow Music. This is the first one from Grow Music.
I don't think it is, but okay.
The second one from Grow Music, or the third one. Gentlemen, have you seen Talking Funny, the comedy panel? Oh, yes, I have. The comedy panel featuring Louis C.K., Ricky Gervais, Jerry Seinfeld, and Chris Rock. They blow hard on their opinions of comedy for 50 minutes. It features some of the most awkward Gervais moments possible, rivaling Shandling. Well, it's also where they look like racist. Who looks like a racist on that show?
Well, Jerry Seinfeld's the one who comes off the best.
He comes off the right. He does come off the best
in terms of stopping the racism.
But Louis C.K. is trying to be a little racist.
Yeah, and Chris Rock is like allowing him to, kind of. So,
which is sad to me.
Yeah, but mostly you could tell their mutual contempt for Ricky Gervais was clear.
That was the best part. That is actually worth watching the special for that.
It really is. Just for when Ricky Gervais goes, stand up is easy. You know,
and he really thinks he has it too.
Right. And he thinks that they're all going to go, you're right.
You're right. It's, he's so terrible. It's a really horrible show to watch.
Because if there's anyone who undervalues the stand-up comedy, it's Jerry Seinfeld.
Right. He was the voice. He's been the voice of reason. You know, I've had disagreements with him, but he's been the voice of reason in many rooms. Like, liking Obama still. You know what I mean? It's like I have agreed with him on politically and things. He's pretty progressive as a person.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, except when he gets upset about the French King jokes.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, he would be the person well, who else was in the room there too? Was Jerry Seinfeld, Louis? Oh yeah, I don't really. Well, Chris Rock, I like to hear what he had to say back then. Back in those days. Clarity Repa says, I think my name is there for a reason. If you get some clarity from Clarity Repa, Miller Repa reincarnate, I am happy as F with it. Is there a clown party? Is the insane clown posse a party? Hashtag Buffalo.
I would say that's a bad read, but there's no good read for that. There's no.
I don't think that's. This is not related to us. This question.
I don't know. If that's
I don't
true.
think so.
I don't know.
Do you have an ad there too?
Do
we have the ads? What's yours?
Mine's Predictogram.
Mine's Cha Cha Food Official. Cha Cha Food. No, he's right. He's doing very well.
Shecky Flopsweat says, why does the internet keep baiting Andy Kindler specifically? This week we have RFK Jr. plus Rob Schneider and RFK Jr. plus Dennis Kucinich. What's next? Please come up with hilarious examples.
I don't quite get this, Shecky. I'm lost. I'm lost with this one, Shecky.
Yeah.
Oh, because those people are terrible?
Those people are terrible and should provide fodder for Andy Kindler style merriment / anger.
I wouldn't put Dennis Kucinich in that group necessarily, right?
I don't know. He's kind of a dipshit.
Is he the one who had the tall wife who was beautiful?
Yes, he did.
Okay, well, that's great.
He had the sitcom wife.
Don't call me Boops, he says.
Have you met my wife, Bang Bang?
I'm not even looking up because I don't even want to see the look of floppy penis sweat.
How's things with Andy? Not looking up.
If Dr. Drew, Adam Carolla, and Joe Rogan were trapped in a burning building and you could save only one of them, what brand of cocoa would you enjoy while watching it burn? Swiss Miss or Nestle? I would go with Swiss Miss. I think of all the people on that list, I think Dr. Drew might be the worst because he actually does think he has abilities and he's smart, and he's not.
No, but I bet he's helped someone.
Yes, maybe he has, but he was anti-vax. He was chiming in with the vax stuff.
No, he
apologized.
No, he's a shitface. He's a fame-seeking shitface, is what he is.
That's right. That's right. And I'm taking it very seriously. This is not a joke. It's celebrity rehab, but it's not a joke.
All right.
Mike Hanratty says Christopher Hitchens had more time to write about Mother Teresa because he didn't believe in exercising. Of course, he was also a heavy drinker and smoker, which may have helped too. Yeah, he really is ultimately just a giant asshole. That's how I will remember him. I was not a fan of his writing, so I will never go back and read stuff that people liked when they say he was good.
Right.
But he might be one of the hugest assholes of history, saying that waterboarding wasn't torture, and liking George W. Bush, and just not funny, really. Not a funny guy.
No.
Just kind of a mean piece of shit.
Pretty much, yeah. A self-satisfied mean piece of shit.
Exactly. Johnny Whoop says, when you last had your picture taken with someone, who was that someone? That's a good one.
I mean, the last one Michelle Wisecarver, maybe, in Minneapolis.
All right.
So it's certainly, there was a picture of me and Trace and Frank and Mary Jo together. There was me and Michelle Wisecarver. I don't know what the official last Acme pick was, but it was at Acme.
It had to be something that competed very well with what Mike Hanratty's talking. Oh, Johnny Whoops. You want to tackle the next Clarity Repa?
All right, Clarity Repa's back. Adding more bozos. Bozo bus touring again. Field and scream times. Yo. That was a haiku. Adding more bozos. Bozo bus touring again.
I get it.
Field and scream times. Yo. Hashtag haiku. Hashtag GOP. Hashtag Firesign Theater. We're all bozos on this bus. Hashtag 2024. Bozo, 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 yo. 2468. Fear and loathing like 60 is too late all over again. Hashtag deja vu. How are you? Hashtag Wednesday thought.
It's very hard to add anything to that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Seth Dick III says, when you are on another podcast, i.e. putting people to sleep, this is a true story. Do you know that he's talking about?
Yes.
You do?
I do. I saw John Moe. Someone.
Do the producers throw you a few bucks or no? No. It's a maximum fun project.
Bill Corbett actually kicked money to me for appearing on his podcast. And
he did with me too.
And I think he's the only person who's ever had that much honor.
Yeah, he has a lot of honor, and I really admire him for that. That's like he's basically saying, look, I realize that you're bringing something to the show, and everybody who's on the podcast is bringing something to the show.
Right.
But none of us are making money.
Yeah, and this podcast folded after like a dozen episodes. So what's the moral to this story?
Torturously okay says Rob Schneider. Oh, God. Rob Schneider's the hot chick inadvertently introduced us to Rachel McAdams. What's something terrible that nonetheless introduced you to someone or something good as a byproduct? Oh, it's interesting. That's a hard one for me. It requires too much brain power.
Well, in some ways, I would say that the Peter Frampton Bee Gees Sgt. Pepper movie, which I've spoken about a great deal, was in fact my on-ramp to Beatle loving, I think.
Your what?
My on-ramp to Beatle loving.
Oh, wow. That's a long, wow.
Because I was like 8 years old.
But the hot chick you've not seen. This is not a movie you would see.
No, there's nothing to do with the hot chick. That was an example that we were supposed to use as something terrible that still made something good.
I think I've seen things that are terrible that I thought were supposed to be better than they were, but have remained terrible nonetheless for my whole life. Like Bye Bye Birdie. I saw that when I was a kid, and I was like, this is it's a horrible musical. The songs are terrible. The plot stinks.
But you got Paul Lynde from it.
That's true. He actually does a good job no matter what he does, right?
Exactly. Especially the Jew hating.
I smell something. I smell some vagina. How does he talk? It's the worst is when you don't do a good impression and you use the word vagina. Then you're just using the word vagina like a dork.
Ask me what I think of your Paul Lynde impression.
What do you think of my Paul Lynde impression?
That's disgusting.
You're intellectually dishonest.
I am completely intellectually dishonest.
Christopher Citro says, what were your favorite books to read as a kid? I love the series called Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators. They lived in Southern California, had a secret clubhouse in a junkyard, and solved crimes. Follow-up question. Guys, why is adult life such a ripoff? Well, I'm not sure about that. I couldn't wait till I grew up, and I still have that feeling like it's still cool. But it's not as cool as I thought it would be. Hardy Boys. I was a big Hardy Boys.
Were you a Hardy Boys guy?
Yeah, I loved them.
I didn't love the Hardy Boys. I enjoyed Encyclopedia Brown more than Hardy Boys just because there was some hands-on solving to do.
Say the name again?
Encyclopedia Brown.
Well, that's really, I never even heard the reference.
It's probably after you.
Yeah. Cool.
I liked Judy Blume's books, some of them when I was a kid. I got into like Louis L'Amour Western novels for a while just because I think our drugstore had a lot of them.
I'm trying to think of what else was nope, that's it.
A lot of Mad Magazine for me. A lot of
Oh yeah, I think Mad Magazine was like that took me over kind of.
Yeah. Dan Marsh says Josh, what were the side effects of having a kidney removed? Did it lower your alcohol tolerance? Do you pee more? Did they clip Did they clip the corner off your organ donor card? Honestly, no. I've had no, like, zero physical effects. There's, like, I'm not supposed to take NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like Advil, those sorts of things. But in terms of my function, it hasn't. I have not noticed anything really.
That's great. Is that the way it's supposed to work?
I think so. Assuming your other kidney is doing its job.
My other kidney is a Rolls Royce.
The alcohol tolerance would be more of a liver function thing.
Oh yeah, but Dan Marsh, do not feel bad because
I'm not scolding you, Dan Marsh.
You're not scolding you, and I think many people mix up kidney and liver. If you play the game Operation, it's easy to do. I can't believe I said that. Mike Sislak, I know him. Mike Sislak, I think I'm saying his name.
I'm going to go Sislak.
Sislak. And I do know Mike. For the both of you, have you ever had a fan encounter in real life? If so, what's the weirdest one you've ever experienced? And for Andy, did you actually voice the crazy croaking sound of Mort throwing his back out in the Haunting episode? If so, you should be impressed. I'm going to have to listen back to that, Mike, because let me just admit to you that these are the hardest things for me to do. You'd think that these would be the easy things to do. Make a sound, you're falling down. They're the hardest things for me to do. Like I actually feel un-Jim Carrey-like.
Yeah.
You know, I had to do a zombie voice. Something like that.
Yeah.
I tell a great story, don't I, about the voiceover world?
Well, that's the thing about you is you're great at committing until you realize you're committing, and then it's a problem.
That's exactly right. Look, you don't have to tell me I'm no good. I'll tell you first. No.
I'd say you're just a very specific kind of good.
I want to congratulate.
But
what?
I just wanted to answer Mike Sislak's question.
Oh yeah.
And yes, I've had many fan encounters in real life, mostly as a function of Mystery Science Theater fandom. But the weirdest fan interaction I had was a stalker. Really, that was the weirdest of them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Have you told us about this?
I think I have.
This isn't the person who sent a threatening thing about the script.
This was a woman who told me she had to do an interview for a class she was taking about it, and then it wasn't a real interview, and then she kept calling me.
And how long were you naked before you realized that this is not a park and this is not the hayride?
I was hitchhiking back.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate. I hate Elon Musk. We all do. He's probably one of the worst human beings in the world. But now that I see he has PAX ads, which are those kind of
vape thing.
Oh, a vape thing. You know, it's better. It's an upgrade.
Gotcha.
Greg Kelly says, I'm going to be at a family reunion in Door County, Wisconsin for the 4th of July when this comes out. And I know James Mason has a place up there too. And I was kind of hoping he would come by. You see, I told my family James and I are tight. Could he, just like 15 minutes. That's a pretty big ask. It's a pretty big ask.
And I must say, Greg Kelly, I'd be happy to indulge you, but I won't be in Door County for the weekend. I'm afraid I have an event down in Milwaukee. The Thunderbird 4th of July Freedom Fest requires my presence.
I'm still angry at James Mason's take on rock and roll. You really piss me off. Such an elitist.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't understand the words. That's what's so nice about country and western. You're never questioning what they're saying. I'd hate to throw my endorsement behind something I'm not understanding.
That might be James Mason's worst take. Was his Oh God! Sometimes when a guy is so elegant and he's beautifully, elegantly selling swill, you forget that there's another side to it.
There is no art without enunciation.
Well, now no. says, where were you last in Florida? Do you know any attorney there? A good one? Walt. This guy, I thought he was just arraigned again.
Yeah.
So what is he worried about? I'm playing as if he's the real Walt.
Not a thing.
And someone told me you weren't on.
That was me.
A third Jew says, anyone send you a pie for episode 314? That would be good. Also, what do you think of uncreative band names like Spencer Davis Group, Alan Parsons Project, and Greg Kinn Band? Seems to me like they just kind of melded in. Very sorry to hear about the loss of Clyde. Spiralers will miss his bark. That's very nice, the third Jew.
Wow, the reading is bad.
What?
Nothing.
I don't like those names. I don't like the Dave I don't like the Dave Matthews Band. So
right.
I can't. It's hard to separate that.
Right.
I don't, in general, like any of those. I think I like the Spencer Davis Group because they had a couple of good people in it. Was it Clapton or something?
I don't mind. I mind it less when the group gets a name too. Huey Lewis and the News would be better than the Huey Lewis Group. Jack Mack and the Heart Attack would be better than the Jack Mack Project.
That's exactly right. It's never better. The Alan Parsons Project. What was the project? What was his project?
Don't answer me. Don't break the silence. Wanna be with. Also, I am the maker of rules. Feeling a fool. I can read your mind.
Oh, that's a classic. That's a classic.
Sky. Also, the intro to that song was also the intro to the Michael Jordan era Bulls. That.
Hey, I'm watching I'm watching with Susan. What a great, The Last Dance. What a great
doc.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say about that. Stephen Elton Yates says, Jens,
Michael Jordan is a psycho, but it is.
What's that? Michael
Jordan's a fucking psychopath, but yes.
Oh, I'm not. Let me tell you something. I've always kind of despised him because I was a Lakers fan. Mm. I like him more watching this thing, but does it get worse?
Well, I don't know where you are.
I'm 3. I've watched 3 of them.
Of 10? Yeah, it gets worse.
Do you feel better? Worse for Scottie Pippen as things go? Is it because
I don't like how Scottie reacted to all this either.
What was his
Scottie's
problem?
become a giant dick now too. But
why? Why?
I think Scottie was always kind of a dick. But
okay, right, yeah. That's it.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to tell me more about the Last Dance.
No, you're going to watch it. So why would I?
But now you're going, I kind of like Michael Jordan for the first time in my life, and now I'm going to have to change that?
No. I mean, I think part of liking Michael Jordan is knowing he's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, he's also I haven't seen this part yet. Like he's a trash talker, right?
Total trash talker, total grudge. I mean, you love him just because he's built on grudges, first of all. Yeah. He is 100% grudge-based organism.
And then, do they deal with the tragedy of his father?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Stephen Elton Yates says, Gents, do you more often reach for ketchup, mustard, mayo, or some other condiment? I don't think I reach for condiments that much because they're almost always built into the dish. You know what I mean? I don't go, oh, this needs an extra mayo.
Yeah.
Ketchup, I would say, would be the most if I order like hot dogs or hamburgers, and I have to have ketchup with French fries.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But otherwise, I'm not that condiment heavy.
Okay.
Well, what do you do?
I would say mustard gets the highest rotation in my life.
Like what? Once every month or what?
Yeah, at least once every month. At least.
No reason to turn it into an argument.
If I'm barbecuing, I'll put a layer of mustard on before I put a dry rub on.
Right. I tried a dry rub yesterday. In college, I tried the dry rub on my running coach. And Richard Woke as fuck Cole says, "Hi, Josh. I'm sorry Clyde died. Losing a pet leaves a hole in one's household. How are you doing? What changes have you noticed in the other two dogs' behavior since Clyde left them? This is a question for you.
Yes, thank you. Lucky's basically the same. I mean, it seems like there's a couple of days where she's been off and you can kind of go, maybe she's sad, but I don't know if that's true. I think it's actually probably been a slight relief for Cody, I think, just because Clyde was definitely jealous of him.
Oh, wow.
So I think he can let his freak flag fly a little bit more. He can be a little more affectionate without worrying about getting barked at, you know. So I don't, and then, the other difference is, and the most depressing one is whenever the doorbell rings, it's like nothing. There's nothing going on.
Oh, no.
Like they'll both kind of go, oh, look, hey, the door. Maybe one of them will come downstairs. But it's like Clyde was clearly the band leader when it came to doorbell but he could get a whole opera company going before, and now there's nothing, and it's so depressing.
Is this something that you like in a dog?
I do miss the, what I liked about Clyde, I loved everything about Clyde. I love the guy.
Right.
But he was definitely a watchdog, in terms of, I really felt like Clyde would put his fucking life between danger and Allison.
Really? That's kind of cool.
Like me, he'd get behind,
Right.
but he would, I truly believe he would have given his life in a heartbeat for Allison. And so I kind of miss having that around.
Yeah.
Neither of these two are intimidating in any way. And Clyde, even though he wasn't a huge dog, had a barrel chest and a deep, mean bark, so I miss that, but as I was saying earlier this week, it's definitely different when a dog dies and you have two others there than when there's no dog there. I mean,
boy.
It was a great piece of wisdom my friend Rick Siegel gave me when Larry, our dog, died the first time. He was our first dog, and he was like, "You can't replace the dog, but you can replace 80%."
Wow, yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's because we just missed the dog energy so much when Larry died. It was literally only 10 days before we got Clyde. So,
wow.
So there isn't that void created when you already have two others. But
is he a dog lover? Obviously, he's a dog lover.
Yes.
Well, I think everything about it is just unbelievable to me. But I don't know why.
Eastside 76 says a lot of people are fans of the Broadway show Jesus Christ Superstar. Not I. I go the way of Andy Kindler Superstar.
Well, thank you.
That'd be the Andy's Instagram handle.
Right, that's my name. But I think I told you this, where a guy comes at me on Instagram. You fucking suck. What do you mean you're it took me, you're not even talented. I realized as they're reading it that he thought I was really calling myself a superstar.
Yeah. Well, on one level you are.
Right, but I just thought it was like who would do that? I am Andy Kindler Superstar. I am the most interesting person or something like that.
Right.
And that this would trigger that person.
The Peruche.
The Peruche. The Peruche. The Peruche is on fire. The Peruche. The Peruche.
Ah. Spite.
See, now I know how you feel.
Andy Kindler's spite takes.
The Peruche. Thank you.
Peruche says, spilt my coffee over my laptop during Josh's surf and turf war joke.
But that's terrible. It's over, right? That is over. Nobody can survive that. That's how I ruined my laptop. You cannot spill coffee on your laptop. First of all, why are you holding it on your laptop? Thank you. The. Oh, Peruche, the Peruche, the Peruche.
Hey,
that's how you say
Andy, you're committing.
Oh, Josh, I'm dying from bad humor. Julian Valentich says, Josh, I'm very sorry for the loss of your beloved Clyde. Andy, it's not your fault. That's a very How could someone not like that? Isn't it terrible? This is what it is with my mother. My mother is like the person who my friend told me when she found out about the nuclear bomb in her house. She goes, Oi, that's all I need. She took it personally. They have a bomb that can destroy a whole nation. Oi, that's all I need now. Taking it very personally. Richard Woke, he's back. Richard Woke, as AF Cole says, hey, Spike, do you take a shorter walk when it's 100 degrees outside? I'm not going to make this into a joke. I almost literally died in Las Vegas thinking I could run in 105 temperature. Mm-hmm. And you see those, I don't know if they're vultures, but there's all kinds of things hopping around you as you're running.
Right.
You cannot, this has been the greatest, so far, the best summer in many, many years in LA in terms of it not being too hot.
All right. But people say that in June and then they go, oh, that's right. It's August and September where it's fucking crushing here.
Can't you let us live our lives? Do you have to make everything worse for us? Can't you at least allow us to
trail off?
I just noticed that Judd responded to me.
Oh, did he? What did he say?
He said, he's so nice to me. I have to say, he's one of the nicest people to me because I'm a volatile person. Right?
Yes. No, you've called him nothing but trouble.
So you watched the entire special? Oh, he's saying to me, so you watched the entire special? I think you need to sign up to Fox Nation just to get it.
You weren't even talking about the special.
It's so fast. I find him fascinating for some reason, Rob Schneider, because to me, he's completely not self-aware, right?
Yeah.
He goes, I know all these guys are making fun of me and stuff. It's because I really, they make fun of me, but they know deep down I've got something to say.
It's kind of like Peter Lawford in the Rat Pack, kind of, where it's like.
I miss Peter Lawford. I miss the. Are we going to the next thing?
Dan Waits, please disregard the nonsense from Iram. That being said, I heard that Andy auditioned for the reboot of Real People, but the producers found his take a little mean-spirited. I don't know what he's referring to with Iram, but
I like it though.
Moldy Lock says, what can you say about Pasquale Caputo? The time when he invited each of his family members to call in one by one and berate him on the old Stern show may be the greatest half hour in terrestrial radio history. Give him hell up there, Pat. Give him hell. I think that's a Pat Cooper.
Oh yeah, that was actually one of the best. That's what I used to watch the Stern show because it was still on terrestrial radio.
Yeah, you used to watch it. You used to watch it on terrestrial radio. Come on, focus.
He used to do it. No, he used to do a show, I think, on the weekends that was a wrap-up show, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I remember him having Pat Cooper talking to him. I don't know where I would have seen that. It wasn't...
maybe the E! Show?
It may have been the E! Show. But when Pat Cooper had his blood pressure didn't change, he thought his blood pressure was going to be through the roof. After that big fight he had with Howard, he went, it was normal.
Petulian Assange says, which one of you is more intellectually dishonest?
Petulian Assange. I kind of like that. I think we can all agree that there's probably no worse human being. I mean, not the people who love him, but he's just a horrible human being. Regardless
of him, what do you mean by that?
The people love Julian Assange. Yeah. They love him.
Right.
They think he should be freed.
Yes. But every horrible human has their fans, it seems.
Right. I mean, he's like you're a fan of a guy who wanted to defeat Hillary Clinton specifically?
I'm not.
You want to be a fan of someone who made everybody else in his organization hate his guts?
That's intellectually dishonest.
Oh.
Arrowhead says, which types of scenes or moments move Andy during his daily walks to snap the pictures he posts on IG? I believe it's street garbage.
Nobody is better at being dismissive than Mr. Judge Elvis Weinstein. Here's what I do. I do look. I am touched by the things that I see the homeless people leave behind, but then I know if something's a series, I know I'm not claiming to be like a photographer. I'm claiming to. Well, I am a photographer. I'm just not a good one, but I'm capturing things. The reason why I'm not a good one is because half the time I look through it and go, well, it's not there anymore because it's so tiny. It's not like the naked eye.
Yeah.
You know, I go, oh, let me take a picture of that. Ugh. So obviously, I'm not a seasoned photographer. I just take a picture, though, of whatever I think is cute or adorable or odd, but not, hopefully not too much on the nose.
No. Okay. Daisy Petunia says, Andy, is it true Woody Allen and his wife were due to be on the next sub trip to the Titanic?
Even understand that. First of all, no, it would not be true. Woody Allen is not going to be in a claustrophobic environment.
That's not the answer.
What do you mean?
I'm going to give you one more setup.
One more shot. Give me another time.
Andy, is it true Woody Allen and his wife were due to be on the next sub to the Titanic?
I don't get the joke.
Too soon, ye, Andy. Too soon, ye.
Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. Please explain to me. I deserve the dignity of having you explain it to me.
I just did. He was setting you up to say, "Oh, too soon, ye."
Oh, too soon, ye. Okay, I can't even play along, and this is my show. This is my show.
On any level, you can't play along.
If I'm not going to get it, the only other person who could get it would be you.
You can't even play along with having a joke explained to you.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God!
What is the level of stupidity that must make up my entire personality?
I don't even know how your central cortex makes you breathe.
Yeah, they say there are certain things that are, I don't even know what the word is. Things like you don't even know what you're doing. It's subautonomous.
Yes.
It's yes.
Yes.
And I don't even do that well.
No, you've got Norm Crosbyism up the wing wang.
My doctor yelled at me for my heart, the way my heart was. He goes, I don't know what the problem is, but it's your fault, whatever you're doing down there.
You're good with the beating, but not with the feeling.
Are we done?
Here's the Iram thing that was dismissed by Dan Wade earlier. Iram here on the gram. Andy, this new direction of your comedy career is pure grift for the clicks. Riding the anti-woke wave by trashing little people, trans folks, and everyone who is not you as somehow not real. I'm disappointed. This is not the Andy I've come to, wait a second, possibly a natural progression. First he came for hacks like Jim Belushi, and now he came for everybody else.
Wait a second. What does transform mean?
Trans folks.
Oh, I don't get do you get the point of view here? I know it's sarcasm.
Yeah. It's disappointment, I think, more than anything.
Well, most people are disappointed in my direction.
Sure.
And where my career, I don't have a career, and I'm putting down other people? What the fuck is that?
I know.
It seems a little bit
intellectually dishonest.
Exactly.
Yes. Zeke Fossey says, what's your recipe for summertime fun time? Hanging with the buds at the beach? A hike in the mountains? Seething with jealous rage at the people who actually have friends who are laughing and shooting off fireworks?
I'm telling you, this holiday, I don't like one goddamn bit. No. I do not like the July 4th.
I've never really liked. Even as a kid, the fireworks were kind of like, all right, this is the same.
Yes. And dogs knew they were no good.
It's going to be a weird 4th without Clyde freaking the fuck out.
Oh, that's right. Did he freak out all day?
No, just during the fireworks.
Oh, you're so cute.
Munson 3786 says, rest in peace, Clyde. Thank you. And my sympathy to everyone who knew him. On another subject, gentlemen, did you ever cross paths with comedians George Miller or Kevin Meaney? I always enjoyed seeing them on TV. I've crossed paths with Kevin Meaney many times, but never George Miller.
And I've crossed paths. I was friends with George Miller because I met him in Vegas, and I enjoyed him very much. He was an extremely funny person, hilarious person, like in real IRL.
Yeah.
So strangely conservative. I didn't expect that from him, but he's very conservative. Yeah,
I totally expected that of him, actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That crankiness doesn't come from tolerating people.
But one time we had an argument about health insurance because I had after health insurance at the time, and I said that, without the after health insurance, my wife would have been in serious shape, which was true. I would have had no health insurance. And then a couple of weeks later, he checked back because I just want to make sure that your wife's okay. That's nice. That's a nice fella.
Tyler Doodles says the songs Josh makes are so catchy and funny. Thank you. I'd love to hear the ha 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 bing bang incorporated into a future sting. Gets me every time.
Bing bang. Ha 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 bing bang.
Nice Firm Handshake says, as a musical gear nerd, I was delighted to hear talk of the jazz versus precision bass, etc. a few episodes ago. It was probably a little in the weeds for a lot of listeners, but I just wanted to say that I and fellow gear nerd listeners are always interested to hear musicians talk about the equipment that means the most to them. Thanks for putting out one of the absolute fave shows week after week. My absolute fave shows week after week. It always brightens my day seeing it pop up in the feed. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you. And I think that's mostly due to me and my efforts. Huh?
Yeah. I wasn't listening to your efforts. Delicious Mick says, Josh, I'm so sorry for your loss of your sense of humor. JK, sincerely sorry about Clyde, man. I thought since you were dropping M-bombs last week that this was a safe space for the kind-hearted insensitivity in the pursuit of a laugh.
What's an M-bomb?
I think midget is the M-bomb. Oh. Gnome is simply just a funny word, he says. I've got nothing but love and plaque in my heart, but I still feel like I'm alienating a couple of my comedic heroes. That's Jew guys, with my giddy edgelord behavior. So I will respectfully fall in line and lob softballs with the rest of those momos, such as, is your favorite color jelly bean also your favorite flavor? Or instant coffee, is it spicy? Andy, do you like serif music? Also, Josh, you said we might have a coffee up, beer down shirt if you said that line more often. So naturally, when can we expect a shirt on Zazzle.com/thought spiral? Boom, deep burn, pow, he says. I hope this has been a kosher ribbing. Peace, love, and Gentile men. Peace and love, Gentile men.
I love this one. No, you don't change.
There's a lot there. There's Josh hacking. That's good.
I just think that don't change the way you are, and don't lob softballs. We like the hard takes here at what's it called at Thin Skin Incorporated.
Right. Podrick Beer says it's the future. Test Show 1000 is coming up. Josh and Andy are long dead. Who is steering the ship?
Nobody we would know, right? It would be.
I got Robin Tran. We finally got her a gig.
Test Show 1000. Would that mean we have to be dead?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that would be another 14 years. Yeah, I don't see you being around.
What?
Well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that out loud.
That'll be 80 years old. Why couldn't I live a nice life then?
You could.
I know I'm dying soon. Not really. Just on stage. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Finally,
here's something.
Rich Papelia Comic Art says, if you live in a bad air quality area, but you're a smoker, can you go out and have a whole park to yourself? I don't know. I'm a 2-park a day guy myself.
You know what? I'm drained from all these questions. It's like, is everything questions with these people?
I know. Why can't someone give us some answers?
That's right. We've been asking for this for months, years. If you'd like to support us, you can go to supportandykindlerspecifically.com and X out the Josh box. If you'd like to send me a candy, send it to me at my address.
Happy I wish I were Independent Day.
Get the hell out of here, thing. Shut up, invisible schmuck.